Can you all guys hear me? If yes, just type it in the chat. It's my first time just looking at this, so I don't think I can see everyone. Let's start in 5 minutes. Okay, those who have joined, can you just type hi or something in the chat so that I know who has joined? Yeah. Let's wait for a few others to join and then we'll start with. Until then, I'll share the uh, Jira link in the chat so that you guys can create your account. It's completely free to create a Jira account. It is valid until 30 days and you can use your personal email as well to do that. So let me just share the link. So if you just go to your Google or everything and just type Jira and enter. So this is where you can go to Jira's official site. And once you're there, for me, it says go to Jira, but then you can sign in. So please do that. And once done, let me know in the chat and we will then go into the Jira. So this is what I have created already and we'll go one by one and understand how it is used. So I will just share, I think, try Jira for free. And I'll just share this link in the chat so you guys can, for me, it's by default saying that you're already in. So once you log in, just let me know what all errors you are facing in between. This is the landing page where you guys should be landing to. Let me know in the chat if you are facing any error or anything. Oh, Aditya, you are here. Yeah, so I've shared the link. You can just create your Jira account for free. So log in using your own email ID. And once that's done, you will land on some landing page like this. So I've already built a team, and this is where I'll add all of you guys, and we will start learning and creating projects in Jira. Just type it in the chat once you are done with Jira login and you are onto a page. And if you have any errors, just paste it in the chat and we can take a look. Also, let me know once you guys are logged in. Just type it in the chat saying done or something, and we can start. Let me know in the chats if you guys have logged in. Yes, no, and then we can start. Okay, I think I'm back. Are you guys able to log into Jira? Okay. What about others? Okay. So let's start. So this is how once you are in Jira, the software looks like. And we'll start by learning about all the things which are in Jira. So basically, when you click on create, you try to create tickets around what work type you have. So let's say you wanna do a task, epic, story, feature, and request. So we will learn about each of this work type, what it is, and when it is used, and when we want to use it. So let's learn it one by one. So for that, actually, let me just open Notepad plus plus and we'll just go through each one of them. So okay, let me share my screen and let's start. So the first thing which we need to learn is epic. If I just zoom in here, so first of all, your question would be what is a epic? So epic is the very high level business objective that is spanned across sprints and months. So basically, epic is like, let's say you want to build an app which is gonna take 3 months. So sprints means it's gonna take 3 months, and epic is the highest level of objective. So it's gonna have a broad goal, the business value, and whatever you have. So I'll just write a one liner that what is epic used for. So we can say that to track a large feature or high level business objective that span across multiple sprints and months. So this is what a epic is and why it's used. So you create a epic and then you assign all the other things to it. So we will learn it one by one and we'll try to create it in Jira. So this is what is epic. Now if I go to Jira, which is in here, so for me, this is my team. So let's say you guys are working in teams. So this is Team Astro and there are all the people in here added. So what I can do is I can add you guys here maybe, and then we can try to create later the board and scrum board everything. But for now, whenever I want to create a epic which my team should know, so in space you have teams. So let's say there is a marketing team, there is a data analytics team, there is a data engineer team. So you would have all of those team name in spaces. As this is a new account and I have created it, so I have only created one team. Then in the work type, you choose it to be a epic. And if you see here in epic, you have status. So basically in status you can see to do, in progress, in review. So whoever this task is assigned to, he will change the status from to do to in progress once he'll start working on the task. In the summary, you just need to write a high level summary. So we will just write a fake ticket. So if I say implement dark mode for mobile app. So this is like your summary, that what we want to do is we want to implement a feature which will have a dark mode for a mobile app. And in description, you try to give more information about your summary. So you will say that this epic represents the full implementation of a dark mode theme across the iOS and Android applications. The goal is to improve user experience in low light condition and reduce eye strain, aligning with current market best practices. This should cover all primary screens and settings. So if you see here, the summary was very high level, but in my description I am being specific. I am saying that it should be the dark mode should be across iOS and Android applications. If let's say I forgot to mention Android, that's where the someone who is working on this, he'll only develop it for iOS and he'll have to again develop it for Android. So you need to be as much specific as you can in the description. Let's say in your team there is someone you want to assign it to. For me, currently it's just me in my team, so I can assign it to me, or if there is anyone else, you can assign it to them. Then this parent and all we'll learn later. You can also assign a start date and a due date to it. So this is where, let's say you want this feature to be done in next 15 days, so you can assign a due date. Once that is done, in reporter section it will be your name. If you want to attach something, you can attach, and that's done. Once you click on create, it will create a ticket and assign it a number. So it says created epic scrum 5. So when I say view epic, I'll go here, and in this here you can see that this is the summary, this is the description, and we learn about what is child work items, link work items later. But this is the comment section. So if let's say someone else is working on it, he can comment here, he can tag you. You have a history, you have a work log here. So whoever has commented or made any changes, if anyone is watching here, your epic, you can, from this to do you can change it to in progress once someone has assigned it. And this is all the things which you can do in epic. Now let's try to get you guys on my project, and we'll assign each other tickets and try to create epics. So let me just see how I can add people. If I go here, yeah, add people. So if you guys can just pass me on your email IDs or something, I can share you the request, and then you guys will be a part of my team. And then we'll try to create projects, epics, tasks, and assign it to each other so that it looks like we are a real world. So just pass on me your email ID and I'll just paste it here and send you a request in the chat. If you can give me your email ID, two three of you, and I'll add you guys to my team. So just give me the email ID with which you have logged into Jira, because then it will be easy for you to just join my team so that I can add them to this team. And as we wrote one of the epic, while writing an epic, there are few points which you need to take into consideration. So I'll just write few points. So you need to start with a, sorry, I think it's, yeah, start with a broad and clear name. Then the description should and business value. So basically, while writing an epic, this is the following points which you need to take into consideration. So you need to start with a clear and a broad name, and then the description to define the scope and business value. In our case, I defined the scope that it should be a iOS and Android application, and business value is because it's a market standard and it will reduce eye strain on people if you have the dark mode. That's the business value in there. And third thing which you need to make sure that you don't have in your epic is, do not include any technical implementation details here. Those are for other things when we create some other task within our epics. So do not include technical implementation details here. So these are the 3 points which you need to take into consideration while drafting an epic. So epic is very high level feature or something which you want to develop, which will take like a month or two, and that's where you go into the detail of it. Now, I think it's my first time using YouTube Live and it's just not working on my end. You're not able to see your screen. Are you still not able to see my screen? I think it's visible, right? Let me share it again. No. Is it visible now? Okay, following 3 points. And the description should define the scope and the business value, and do not include the technical implementation details here. So these are the three things which you need to keep in mind while drafting an epic. So in our case, when I created that epic, the broad name was we need to have a dark mode feature, right? Then the second thing was the description should define clear scope and business value. So in my case, the scope was it should be there for iOS and Android application. That was the scope. And the business value was it will reduce eye strain and everyone in the market is doing. So based on that, that's the business value. And I have not included any technical implementation. So for example, use this like Python or use that on those things. So do not include any technical implementation. So that's uh, the thing about epics. Now let's try to go on to the next word after epic, which we need is, let me just go on to the next line. After epic comes the story. So there is another kind of task which we can create in that section, which is story. So I'll just type in here story. So basically, when you write a story ticket, you write this in terms of user centric requirement. So basically, this is used to track a user centric requirements or small feature that delivers value to an end user completed. Yeah. So basically, when you're writing a story, you will write it from the perspective of a end user. So whatever your user, how he will see it, you're gonna write your story in that way. So if I'm able to just go and show you how a story is written, let me go again to Jira here. So we have got our epic. Again, if you want to create a story, you need to click here on create tab. Once you are here, you have a space, and then you need to select what type of task you want to create. So if I just scroll above, instead of work type as epic, I'll select as a story. So if I just select as a story, so now in story, how will you write a summary? You will write this in perspective of a user. So you will say that as a user, I want a dark mode toggle in toggle in the settings menu so that I can switch the theme. So in the settings menu so that I can switch the theme. Sorry, the spelling is wrong. So now when you're writing a